In 2020, the tragic story of Alexis Sharkey, a rising social media influencer, shocked the world. What seemed like a glamorous life quickly unraveled into a heartbreaking mystery filled with suspicion, unanswered questions, and devastating loss. Alexis Sharkey was a 26-year-old Instagram influencer living in Houston, Texas. She was known for her beauty, her social media presence, and her seemingly perfect life. But behind the photos and curated posts, Alexis was reportedly struggling in her personal life. On November 27, 2020, Alexis was reported missing by her friends after they hadn't heard from her. The very next day, her body was discovered on the side of a Houston road. Disturbingly, she was found naked and without visible injuries, which immediately raised suspicions. Investigators later revealed that Alexis had died by strangulation, and her death was officially ruled a homicide. Attention quickly turned to her husband, Tom Sharkey. Friends of Alexis came forward saying she had confided in them about marital troubles and even mentioned wanting to leave the relationship. These statements fueled public speculation, and Tom soon became the primary suspect. Not to mention that Alexis worked for the controversial company called Monet. Although she worked remotely and set her own hours, she didn't report for work on Black Friday, one of the most important days of the year for her business. This also raised concerns. In October 2021, nearly a year after Alexis's death, authorities issued an arrest warrant for Tom Sharkey. But before police could take him into custody, Tom tragically took his own life in Florida. The death of Alexis Sharkey remains one of the most shocking influencer tragedies in recent years. While police concluded Tom was responsible, the case serves as a chilling reminder that the picture-perfect lives we see online often hide darker truths. Shanyea Rolle, a 27-year-old mother from Houston, Texas, vanished on December 30, 2020. Shanyea was last seen at a gas station near Fondren and South Main in Houston. Eyewitnesses say she got into a vehicle with two unidentified individuals, one described as an African-American man with a fade haircut and another as a woman. After that, she simply disappeared. She was about 5 feet 5 inches, around 135 to 145 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She had distinctive tattoos, including the names Sasha, Shanika, and Curly on her left arm, a scar above her nose, and a chipped tooth, details that made her unmistakable. She is a devoted mother to an 8-year-old son, someone she was in constant contact with. Her family emphasizes that her sudden disappearance was completely out of character. They've received minimal updates from law enforcement and are still seeking closure. More than 4 years later, the case remains unsolved. There were no reported sightings after that day, and the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office continues to handle the case. Every detail, from the vehicle's identity to the whereabouts of those last seen with her, remains unknown. Disappearance cases, especially involving women and mothers, often don't receive the widespread coverage they deserve. Shanyea's case underscores how critical it is for loved ones, communities, and journalists alike to keep the light shining on the missing. If you have any information, no matter how small, please contact the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. On May 20, 2017, a 15-year-old girl vanished during a late-night walk. 8 years later, her absence still haunts a community. Sophie Elizabeth Reeder was a vibrant 15-year-old living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She lived with her father, Qadr Reeder, following her parents' divorce. At the time, she was suffering from anxiety and depression, and Sophie was attending virtual school and had few close friends. Still, her family remembers her as sweet and loving. On the evening of May 19, 2017, Sophie appeared agitated. A calendar on her wall marked that day with an X. Her father asked her to go to sleep, and by morning, she was gone, leaving a burning candle in her bedroom and $300 in cash untouched beside her bed. These clues suggested she had no intention of leaving for good. At approximately 2:16 a.m. on May 20th, Sophie was captured on surveillance footage walking alone along Davie Boulevard. She wore a short black dress, a leopard print fur coat, red Converse sneakers, and white headphones. Phone records and cell tower data placed Sophie heading toward the 1700 block, of Southwest 11th Court. There, her phone last pinged and remained connected from 3:07 a.m. to 9:13 a.m. At the location lived Leonard J. Jennings, a convicted felon with criminal ties. Investigators searched his residence and those of his brothers, seizing 25 cell phones, computers, headphones, and other items. Yet no evidence was conclusively tied to Sophie. Investigators and family have considered multiple theories. Sophie's online activity, visiting sugar daddy websites and discussing prices for sex acts, raised fears she may have been lured into sex trafficking. Today, Sophie would be 23. Her bedroom remains untouched, her candle still on the dresser, her absence a reminder that nothing has changed. It's been 8 years with no resolution. Fort Lauderdale police continue to urge the public for help and are offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to her recovery or an arrest in the case. Sophie's case has been featured on Dateline, Missing in America, Investigation Discoveries in Pursuit, The Missing, and countless other news outlets. Not for headlines, but to shine a light that could lead her home. If you know anything, please reach out and contact the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. Sophie is more than a missing person. She is a daughter, a sister, a memory waiting to return. Emma Jane Walker was a 16-year-old high school cheerleader from Knoxville, Tennessee. Known for her outgoing personality, love for cheerleading, and close circle of friends, she seemed to live a picture-perfect teenage life. But behind the scenes, Emma was navigating a rocky relationship that would ultimately turn deadly. In 2014, Emma began dating Riley Gall, a former high school football player who was 2 years older. At first, their relationship seemed typical, but over time, it grew increasingly toxic and controlling. Friends and family noticed Emma pulling away, and her parents described Riley as jealous and possessive. Despite multiple breakups, Riley refused to let go. He repeatedly tried to win Emma back, sometimes using extreme tactics to keep her attention. On November 20th, 2016, Emma spent the weekend with friends, posting videos and enjoying her time. That night, she returned home to her family's house and went to sleep in her bedroom. But in the early morning hours of November 21st, tragedy struck. Emma's parents discovered her unresponsive in bed. At first, they thought she had simply overslept, but when they tried to wake her, they realized she wasn't breathing. Her mother made a heartbreaking 911 call.
Where is your emergency?
I'm Jill Walker!
What's going on there?
I just tried to wake up my daughter for school, and she has no pulse.
How old is she?
She's 16.
You said that she's non-responsive?
Yeah.
Police arrived and made a chilling discovery. Emma had been shot in the head while she slept. The bullet had been fired from outside the house, through her bedroom wall. Detectives immediately suspected foul play, and attention quickly turned to Riley Gall. Just days before, Riley had staged a bizarre kidnapping attempt, dressing in black and pretending to rescue Emma in an effort to regain her trust. Investigators soon learned Riley had also borrowed his grandfather's gun. Ballistics later confirmed it was the same weapon used to kill Emma. Riley was arrested and charged with her murder. In 2018, Riley Gall stood trial for the murder of Emma Walker. Prosecutors argued that he couldn't accept their breakup and planned her death. The defense claimed he only meant to scare her, but the jury didn't buy it. Riley Gall was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 51 years. Emma's death shocked the Knoxville community and left her family devastated. Her story has since been featured on true crime programs, reminding young people of the dangers of controlling and toxic relationships. Emma's story is that of heartbreak, but her family continues to honor her every day. Yasmin Acree was just 15 years old when she went missing in January 2008. She was a smart, determined teenager, described as kind, loving, and devoted to both school and church. She dreamed of going to college and making a difference in her community. On the night of January 15, 2008, Yasmin was last seen at her family's apartment in the Austin neighborhood of Chicago. The next morning, she was gone. Her stepfather reported her missing, and immediately, there were troubling signs. The home's front gate and door were damaged, possibly forced open. Despite these details, authorities initially treated her disappearance as a runaway case. Yasmin's family insisted she would never run away. They pressed police to take the case seriously. But crucial time was lost. Her case didn't receive the media coverage other missing teens often get, especially in Chicago. Her family and community leaders criticized law enforcement, believing Yasmin's disappearance was mishandled from the very start. In 2009, a year after Yasmin vanished, Chicago police had a disturbing lead. A convicted sex offender named Terrell Smith was questioned after DNA evidence linked him to assaults in the same area. Smith eventually confessed to assaulting multiple women, but denied harming Yasmin. Still, detectives believed he could have been involved in her case. Despite this, no charges were ever filed, and Yasmin remained missing. Over the years, Yasmin's family has never stopped fighting for her. Vigils, marches, and news appeals have kept her memory alive, but the case has gone cold. Her loved ones still hold on to hope, even as each passing year deepens the pain of not knowing. Yasmin Acree's case highlights a devastating reality. Many missing Black children don't receive the same attention as others. Advocates stress the importance of keeping her name alive, not only for her family but for all missing children whose stories deserve to be heard. If you have any information about the disappearance of Yasmin Acree, please contact Chicago police or local authorities. Alexandria Kostyul was a 21-year-old college student, known for her bright personality, love for fitness, and dedication to her studies in marketing. Friends described her as caring, social, and full of life. She was currently attending the University of Mississippi. On the night of July 19, 2019, Allie went out with friends in Oxford, Mississippi. Surveillance cameras later captured her leaving a bar, but instead of returning home, she met up with someone she knew well. The next morning, Allie's body was found near Sardis Lake, about 30 miles from campus. She had been shot multiple times. News of her death devastated her family, friends, and the Ole Miss community. Investigators quickly focused on Brandon Thiesfeld, a fellow Ole Miss student. Text messages revealed that the two had been in an on-and-off relationship. Allie wanted something more serious, but Brandon reportedly resisted. After examining surveillance footage and tracking his movements, police arrested Brandon just days later. In 2021, Brandon Thiesfeld pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. He admitted to luring Allie out that night and shooting her because she said she was pregnant. Text messages revealed how Brandon felt about the pregnancy, stating it would ruin his life. He was sentenced to life in prison. Allie's tragic death shocked the nation. Her family remembers her as a young woman with endless potential, taken far too soon. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of recognizing toxic relationships and seeking help when someone feels unsafe. If you or someone you know is in a controlling or dangerous relationship, please reach out for help. Allie's story is heartbreaking, but by sharing it, we honor her memory and raise awareness. Qadr Williams, sometimes listed as Qadr Williamson, was a 10-year-old girl from the West Mount Airy neighborhood of Philadelphia. Born on November 27, 2010, she was a bright and curious student with a promising future ahead of her. On the morning of October 21, 2021, Qadr was last seen by her foster mother at around 7:45 a.m., just steps from home on the 300 block of Glen Echo Road. She was supposed to catch a bus and head to Houston School, but she never arrived. At the time she vanished, Qadr was wearing a blue hoodie, a black shirt, black pants, and black sneakers. She was also carrying a backpack and wore eyeglasses. Within weeks of her disappearance, the FBI joined the search, signaling the severity of the case. The community responded with vigils and door-to-door searches, hoping someone would remember seeing her. Authorities suspect the possibility of a family abduction scenario, with non-custodial relatives potentially involved and possibly taking Qadr out of Pennsylvania, perhaps to the Bowie, Maryland area. But to this day, her whereabouts remain unknown. Even now, years later, this case remains unsolved. Qadr has not been found, and there have been no confirmed sightings or leads that bring her closer to home. If you have any information, please call the Philadelphia Police Department's Northwest Detectives Division. Ann DeGuio, just 24 years old in June 2014, was a loving mother of two, residing in Drexel Hill, Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Friends and family describe her as vibrant and full of life, known for her stylish flair and warm spirit. On June 3, 2014, just days after a family trip to Disney World, Amanda's mom asked her to do laundry and bring in her suitcases. But when she returned home around 5 p.m., the luggage remained. Amanda was gone. Her cell phone, credit cards, and extra clothes, everything was still inside. In the months leading up to her disappearance, Amanda struggled with opioid addiction, originally from a medical prescription after childbirth, later progressing to heroin. She also lived with bipolar disorder. These challenges delayed reporting her missing because she occasionally vanished for a few days and always came back. The situation intensified a week after she vanished, when Amanda allegedly picked up someone else's OxyContin prescription. A warrant was issued for identity theft and receiving stolen property. Shortly after, Amanda was reported missing. Nearly 3 months had passed. Authorities soon confirmed they suspect foul play, but leads remained scarce. Over the years, searches began in Philadelphia neighborhoods like Kensington, and then more recently at a rural Chester County property, where the FBI and local police deployed cadaver dogs and dug underground, even draining a septic tank. Despite thorough efforts, the search came up empty. Authorities and the family, especially Amanda's mother Joanne and father John, have never given up hope. On each anniversary of her disappearance, police publicly appeal for tips, emphasizing that someone in her circle may hold crucial information. Police continue to treat the case as active and encourage anyone with information to come forward, anonymously if needed. Amanda's disappearance underscores deep systemic gaps, especially for people facing stigma around addiction or mental health struggles. Her case highlights how certain missing people don't always get the attention they deserve. Keeping her story alive matters. If you know anything, please contact the Upper Darby Township Police Department.